Britain and the world said a final goodbye to Queen Elizabeth II Monday at a state funeral that drew presidents and kings, princes and prime ministers, and crowds which massed along the streets of London to honor a monarch whose 70-year reign defined an age. Associated Press correspondent Charles de Ledesma reports.
In a country known for pomp and pageantry, the first state funeral since Winston Churchill's was filled with spectacle. 142 Royal Navy sailors drew the gun carriage carrying Elizabeth's coffin to Westminster Abbey, with King Charles III and his sons, Princes William and Harry, walking behind as bagpipers played. During the service, the Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, said the Queen was a shining example of a Christian life fully lived.
Her late Majesty's example was not set through her position or her ambition, but through whom she followed. I know His Majesty shares the same faith and hope in Jesus Christ as his mother, the same sense of service and duty.
Charles de Ledesma, London.
U.S. President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden were among the world leaders paying their respects to Queen Elizabeth II Monday. The Bidens arrived late Saturday for the event and have kept a low profile in the British capital, holding no official diplomatic meetings and keeping their public comments to the topic of the Queen's passing at the age of 96. White House officials told VOA before the funeral Washington's strong ties to London will continue after the recent change in leadership, which includes the new King, Charles III, and the recently installed Prime Minister, Liz Truss. Ukrainian officials say a Russian missile strike has hit just 300 meters from a nuclear power plant in the country's south. Ukraine's defense ministry called the attack an act of terrorism. Ukraine's atomic energy operator said the strike, which came just after midnight Monday, hit an industrial complex in the southern Mykolaiv region. That includes the Pivdenokroyansk nuclear power plant. The agency said the impact did not affect the plant's reactors, but caused an explosion that broke more than 100 windows on buildings in the complex and forced the hydropower plant to shut down temporarily. Russia did not immediately acknowledge the strike on the industrial complex, which sits along the southern Bug River. A senior Taliban detainee held at Guantanamo Bay says he was released and handed over to the Taliban in Kabul in exchange for an American prisoner held in Afghanistan. VOA's Tommy McNeil reports.
Bashir Noorzai, a notorious drug lord and member of the Taliban, told reporters in Kabul Monday that he spent 17 years and 6 months in the U.S. detention center at Guantanamo Bay and that he was the last Taliban prisoner there. The Taliban-appointed Foreign Minister Amir Khan Muttaqi also spoke at the press conference and said the released American was Mark Frericks, a Navy veteran and civilian contractor kidnapped in Afghanistan on January 31st, 2020. There was no independent confirmation or word from Washington on Frericks' release. Tommy McNeil, VOA News, Washington.
Televised Sunday, U.S. President Joe Biden said U.S. forces would defend Taiwan in the event of a Chinese invasion, his most explicit statement on the issue, drawing an angry response from China that said it would send the comments sent the wrong signal to those seeking an independent Taiwan. In Sunday's CBS 60 Minutes interview Biden was asked whether U.S. forces would defend the democratically governed island claimed by China. He replied yes, in fact, if there was an unprecedented attack. Asked to clarify if he meant that, unlike in Ukraine, U.S. forces, American men and women, would defend Taiwan in the event of a Chinese invasion, Biden replied yes. It was Biden's clearest statement yet that the president was prepared to go beyond the long-standing stated U.S. policy on Taiwan. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Mao Ning told a regular briefing in Beijing Monday that Biden's comments set a seriously wrong signal to separatist forces for Taiwan independence, and China has issued a strong complaint with the U.S. Repeating the hour's top story, Britain and the world said a final goodbye to Queen Elizabeth II Monday at a state funeral that included world leaders and crowds which massed along the streets of London to honor a monarch whose 70-year reign defined an age.
Hi, thank you for watching. I hope the videos are useful for you. Please subscribe to my channel using the button below.